Hello, my name is Cristina Hodgson. I was at the Ursuline High School from 1988 to 1993, so a long time ago now. Gosh, I'm probably even old enough to be your mum, so time flies, it really does. Anyway, thank you for sending me some questions to answer in regards to my publication experience. My debut novel, A Little of Chantal Rose, will be released this coming 4th of May. So you sent me several questions. Here we go. So question number 1. How do you find the time to write? Okay, well this is a very good question. I get up at 5:30 in the morning to write. I know, crazy. You're probably thinking, 5:30, does that time exist? Well, it does from the moment you have a dream that you want to fulfill, but you haven't been able to give up the day job yet, and you have 2 young children to take to school. So you have the afternoons filled with after-school activities, etc. So it's not something I would recommend. I wouldn't, certainly not at your young age. I certainly wouldn't recommend waking up so early to get something done just yet. Wait till you're a little bit older. This is mum coming out. You've got to sleep, okay? So don't get up so early. But anyway, that's what I have to do. It's the only time of day that I have 1 hour of peace and quiet just for me and for my writing. Not that I get much done in an hour. I can't write very much. But as they say, small steps can lead to a great leap forward. So that's my situation right now. Okay, next question. What was difficult about writing your novel? Okay, well I didn't actually find the writing difficult. That came quite naturally. Though I have to admit, writing is a very solitary activity. You spend hours in front of a computer screen, and the only sort of movement you're doing are through your fingers, which dart across the keyboard. But it leaves you exhausted. It's so mentally draining, it's exhausting, though I do enjoy it, so compensate. And then obviously you have your internal doubts as to whether or not what you're writing is making sense, let alone if it's interesting or not. And then of course you have the dreaded writer's block, which is pretty much when all your imaginary friends stop talking to you. Thankfully, mine are still quite chatty, so that's a relief. What I did actually find difficult, though, was finding my publisher. But that's another step. So the first step is trying to get your manuscript finished. That's a huge milestone, and congratulations when that happens. And then you have to then obviously find a publisher. Obviously, if you get to that stage and you need any help or want me to try and give you some tips, feel free to send me an email. That's absolutely fine, and I'll obviously always try and help as much as I can. Okay, so next question. What inspired you to get through difficult times? Okay, well here, keeping everything in perspective is important. In anything you do, you really have to keep things in perspective. I write and I enjoy it, and the fact that my work is now going to be published is amazing. But it doesn't overrule my life. It doesn't overtake, the situation. But as with everything, you do have to keep things in perspective. Life will show you what's important, and you have to think as well. If you're in a difficult situation, can you change it? If you can't, and I know it's easier said than done, but you have to stop worrying. Worrying doesn't help. Stressing out doesn't help. You have to sort of try and not to get yourself down because of this situation. And if you can change it, obviously, well, change. I mean, if you can change what's going on, what's making you unhappy or whatever, you've got to change. Honestly. I actually find that some other activity, like going for a run or going for a walk outdoors, is good to clear the mind and help put things in perspective too. So try and find an activity that sort of can help you escape a little bit and can analyse things calmly. Okay, so that's my sort of advice there. Next question. How did you persevere with sport to such a high level? Okay, well, to be good at anything, whether it's music, dance, sport, any activity, you do have to have perhaps a sprinkling of natural ability, but you honestly have to have a whole truckload of hard work. Hard work and consistency is the key. You know, it doesn't matter how talented you are, if you don't work at it, forget it, honestly. And also, you have to be patient too. Things don't happen overnight. You know, to be good at something, you have to work every day, you know, keep focused and keep consistent. The actual sport that I excelled at whilst I was at the Ursuline High was middle distance running. And I only actually started club running at the age of 15, which is GCSE year. So, you know, that's the sort of the age when most young adults give up sport because, you know, they have loads of work to do, they've got their exams to do, they've got loads of studying. It's perhaps the age when you start going out a little bit more, so you're like, well, how can you fit in something else? How can you fit in, you know, training and competing? Well, organisation. You have to be organised, and it actually is really good when you're doing outside, you know, sort of school activity, because it helps you organise your time. Time is precious, and you have to, you know, you have to make sure you know what you're doing. Also, I still find it now, and I found it then very positive to do running, because it helps break away from the mental cramming for exams and studying. You know, you have to sort of break things up a little bit. You know, you can only take so much of one activity, otherwise you burn out. So running for me was actually a great way to just escape and do something I really enjoy doing. I think it's important to find something you enjoy doing, because then you will find the time. You will find the time to do it. And I loved running and I loved competing, so for me it wasn't a problem. And I just kept focused and kept doing it. You've got to find a balance. But honestly, it's something I recommend. I definitely recommend, especially during you know, the exam years. Don't give up. If you're in a sport, don't give up. Just continue, because it's great. It's great to break away from the studying. Okay, next question. Do you base your characters off yourself and people you know? Okay, no. Here, neither from myself or people I know. So I have to admit, I may hear something or see something that gives me an idea. For example, and this is true, in the opening chapter of Chantal Rose, Chantal is an extra in a film. She's an extra in a gangster film, and this actually happened to me. I was an extra in a British-produced gangster film, and it gave me this idea. And Chantal Rose was born. So, though there's no similarity between Chantal and I, apart from this theme, you know, she was created, but that's as far as it goes in similarities. She's completely, I think, different to me. But anyway, she was born because of that experience that happened to me, so I guess it was something that happened to me. Did you write a lot when you were at the Ursuline? Okay, well, just keeping a diary count. Because keeping a diary count, that's the only writing I did, honestly. Though I have to admit, I did do loads and loads of reading. I absolutely loved reading, I still love reading, and I would devour books like on a weekly basis. In term time, I'd read a book in a week, 2 weeks, and on holidays, I'd get through a book in like perhaps 3-4 days or something. I, you know, loved reading, and I think, you know, from the reader, the writer is born, at least in my case. So I didn't write very much at all, but I loved reading. I think that gave me the experience and the knowledge that I needed to then pursue my own dreams as a writer. So don't worry too much if you don't write now. Read is what I would recommend. Okay, what are your fondest memories of Ursuline High? apart from sharing 5 amazing years in a lovely community, friendly, family almost like environment, I think just the general 5 years, I mean, I've made friends from the Ursuline that have lasted a lifetime, some amazing friends. So all that, the whole combination is just one huge lovely memory. Though I have to say, a memory that does stand out is when I was selected to represent the school at the 1990 Wimbledon Tennis Championships. That was amazing. That was certainly a fond memory that stands out, and I have to thank the Ursuline for giving me this opportunity. I'm not sure if you can still, still go into the trials to be a ball girl. If you can, do it. It's just amazing. It's amazing to be there on centre court with all these, amazing athletes. Wow, so brilliant. If you can do that, do it. It's another thing I would recommend. Okay, next question. What were the teachers like back then at the school? Pretty much, I would imagine, how they are now, I would have thought. My year head, I have to say, my year head was extremely strict with the uniform. No fancy ribbons, definitely no makeup. I mean, God, no makeup. And earrings. You could only have one stud and one pair. Like a little pair of studs. That'd be it. No more earrings at all. And I don't know what the uniform's like now, but then it was this like below knee skirt. So what we used to do, we used to roll them up to make them shorter. So it would end up these sort of tubby looking bellies, but our legs, we're showing off our legs. I hope I'm not giving you ideas of this, so don't get me into trouble, but that's what we would do. We would roll up our skirts to make them shorter. But I do have very fond memories of especially fond memories of my PE teachers and my drama teachers. They were great. But in general, actually, all the teachers were great. The whole staff were wonderful, and I'm sure pretty much like they are now. So anyway, last question. Do you have any advice for aspiring authors? Okay, well, the advice I would give here is pretty much you can adapt it to everything. Never give up. Okay, if you have a dream, you can make it a reality. Like I've said before, it's not going to be an overnight success. You have to work at it. You have to be consistent. You have to work hard, and you have to keep focused. But you can do it. Honestly, you can do it. Never give up. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams, and you'll make them happen. But like I say, you all have to work hard, because if it was easy, everybody would be a published author. But you can do it. I mean, I've done it, so anyone can do it, honestly. And also, the satisfaction of seeing your work, in print is way from, compensates by far all the hours and the hard work that you put into your project. So, whatever your dreams are, go for it. You have to go for them. You have your whole life before you, so just go out and do it. All right, you'll be fine. I want to add here as well that people perhaps listening to me or who've heard about me might think, oh, I bet this came really easily to her. I bet she was probably an 8th grade student and everything was very natural and easy. No, I was an average student. I struggled with exams. I struggled with homework. But I think here, like I've said, and I've said it so many times actually, it's hard work. It's hard work. You've got to just get on with it, and things will happen. Things will happen. If you work at things, things will come your way. So honestly, I really did struggle with exams and homework. But you have to be consistent and get on and do what you've got to do. So anyway, thank you again for giving this amazing opportunity to talk about me and my work. Like I say, feel free to contact me. You can contact me. My email is hello@CristinaHodgson.com. My website is www.CristinaHodgson.com, and my Twitter is @HodgsonChristina. As I said, my debut novel will be released on the 4th of May. If you've got Facebook, please look me up. I haven't got my actual book with me because I haven't arrived yet. But anyway, I've got a Facebook event coming up on the 4th of May, so look me up on Facebook, join in on the event, and I'll be giving out these lovely freebies. I've got mugs, I've got keyrings, I've got bookmarkers. So if you can, just come along and join in the fun, and I'd love to see you. And again, any sort of questions you might have in regards to publication or anything you think I might be able to help you with, I'll be really willing to try and help you. Send me an email and I'll see what I can do, okay? Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Good luck to all of you, and hopefully I'll meet you one day. Okay, bye.